not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts.
Well, come on over. We got us a fight going on that's a good bit of fun.
Ah, shoot.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, you know, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
So, while everyone's busy arguing over who came out on top in the Kendrick versus Drake feud, Katt Williams swoops in with a reality check. He's here to remind us that the real winners aren't the rappers themselves, but the big shots behind the scenes. Specifically, Universal Music CEO Lucian Grainge might be the one raking in the benefits. Kanye West even stirred the pot by calling Lucian Drake's baby daddy or sugar daddy. But the truth is, Lucian's got a sweet deal with all these artists. So while the fans are busy picking sides, it's really the bigwigs like Lucian who are laughing all the way to the bank. Just look at the facts. Universal Music owns pretty much all your favorite rappers. Wow. Kendrick signed a major deal with Universal back in October 2020, and even Kanye was under their umbrella until recently when he got dropped by both Universal Music's Def Jam Recordings and Sony Music Publishing after they accused him of anti-Semitism. And then there's Drake, rumored to be Lucian's favorite. Word on the street is that Drake gets some extra perks and protection compared to his peers because of his cultural background.
Let's talk about you being Jewish real quick.
Let's do that.
Because a lot of people think
Jewish,
that like, Asher's Jewish.
Right.
He's not. His dad's Jewish. He doesn't really identify. All loves to Jews, but he's not Jewish.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand...
But he wasn't there. He didn't read his portion, first of all.
You didn't have a bar mitzvah.
Come on. Are you serious?
You had a... Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Just tell it. You don't understand how big you're about to be in the Jew world.
You don't understand how big.
Yo,
First of all, I live in an all-Jewish area, so
where is that?
Forest Hill.
Okay.
I went to a predominantly Jewish school growing up.
Dang.
I definitely had a bar mitzvah in an Italian restaurant, mind you. Well, there's Jewish, and you know we have great Jewish dinners like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
First text message you ever sent me. Good Shabbos.
Yep, good Shabbos.
He kept it real.
Yep.
Have you gotten approached yet by like the Jewish media yet?
No, I haven't gotten approached by the Jewish media, but somebody today, who I won't mention, was like, you know how big you're gonna be?
So Drake's got this super secret contract with Universal, and in 2021, he reportedly scored this mega deal with Universal Music Group worth a mind-boggling $400 to $500 million, an unprecedented figure in the industry. Now, here's where it gets juicy. With Drake being such a big shot, it's totally plausible that this deal wasn't just about money. There's talk that it could have included some equity too, meaning Drake might have gained ownership over other artists' catalogs who are under the same corporate umbrella. And get this. There are whispers floating around that Drake might have been trying to anonymously acquire Kendrick's rights, which could be the real reason behind their beef. But wait, there's more drama. Kendrick recently dropped this diss track where he accused Drake and his whole OVO crew of some shady stuff, calling them S-traffickers and PDF files. And just before that, Kanye spilled the tea in an interview, mentioning Lucian Grainge and calling him Drake's rich baby daddy. And let's not forget that Lucian was named in Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of funding Diddy's alleged trafficking operation.
Jewish music mogul and CEO of Universal Studios, Lucian Grainge, is being investigated on charges of allegedly aiding, abetting, and inducing P. Diddy to run a pedophile ex-trafficking ring, and is 100.
Dang, so what? He be. God dang, he got me stuttering. He behind P. Diddy. Like P. Diddy. Hey, I need you to get all the tapes. I need all the tapes. I need copies of all the tapes. They some sick people, bro.
100% liable for the crime.
And get this, rumor has it that Lucian gave Drake the signal to cool it on the beef once Kendrick dropped the trafficking bomb. That might explain why Drake's latest track, The Heart Part 6, is getting roasted left and right. It's like he's intentionally serving up a mid-track to put an end to the drama. But here's where it gets dark. According to Katt Williams, if Kendrick goes rogue and starts speaking out against Universal, it could spell disaster. Katt's been dropping hints in interviews suggesting that artists who go against the big labels meet unfortunate ends. And Katt's not stopping there. He's also claiming that whenever there's a rapper gunned down, someone up top is cashing in on their death. By the way, remember Michael Jackson and Prince both passed away after clashing with their labels. Michael even had his suspicions about Sony trying to snatch his catalog before he died.
I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them
and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know?
So what's the real deal with this Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef? Is Katt Williams now dropping...
Man, rest in peace, Mike, man. Why they tried to take Mike, bro? That was crazy, bro. Because y'all got outsmarted in your own game, bro. Really?
Hints that Lucian Grange and Universal are pulling the strings behind the scenes?
So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Dang.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Now, to give you some context on what's happening with Drake and Kendrick, their beef has been bubbling for a long time, and it apparently all kicked off back in 2013 with Kendrick's verse on Big Sean's track Control. Now, in that verse, Kendrick didn't hold back. He called out a bunch of rappers, including Drake and J. Cole. However, Kendrick later clarified that he wasn't dissing their skills or trying to start any beef. Instead, he was just putting it out there how determined he was to climb to the top of the game. So, what might have seemed like shots fired was actually just Kendrick's way of expressing his hunger for success.
I think the ones that really took it out of context was the people that we know want to grab an opportunity just off the fact of the hype of the record, rather than actually tuning in and listening and knowing how hungry I am. A lot of people think it's about talent. That's where they get it wrong. I'm saying I'm the most hungry in it. You get what I'm saying? I respect the legends in the game. I respect, you get what I'm saying, people that done it before me. You know, people that lost their lives over this. You know what I'm saying? So, because of what they laid down, I'm going to try to make it harder, you know, and breathe it and live it. And that's the point of the whole verse, what I was trying to convey through that verse.
So Kendrick's Control verse really wasn't a diss when you think about it, and most rappers took it well, with some even doing response songs. Drake, however, took it personally and got all sensitive about it.
Control, the record, people still banging it, man. Where is Drake at with Control?
I'm probably like as done as like the rest of the world is with that record. Like I think it came and it went, you know what I mean? And not to discredit it, like it was a good moment, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it was like one of those sort of like fleeting like Twitter frenzies that like, it was cool for what it was, you know, and I'm just into making like, my thing is like, I like lasting power, you know, that's my thing. I want you to still be listening to this album in the summer or, you know, next year, where I want you to stay in your car, stay on your mind. It's like not even about the music, you know what I mean? It wasn't even about like the content of it. It just seemed to be about like, you know, all the and all the talking at the time, and now everybody's like over it. Nobody plays it. It's just like whatever.
Did that kind of, when you heard your name, did you feel like, man, like that was kind of disrespectful, or did you feel like, you know, our names were just kind of thrown in there and it was?
I feel like he made a decision, you know what I'm saying? And it was a decision to make. You know, he was like, man, I'm either gonna go for this moment because I know it's gonna be a big moment, or I'm gonna like take heed to the fact that I have real relationships and I'm gonna like not do that. Cause like, you know, I'll be real, like I've thought of doing that before. You know, I thought like, man, it would be crazy if I just went off on everybody, but it's just kind of like, where does it really get me? Then what? Then every time I rap, people are gonna expect me to be confrontational, and when I'm not, then it's not entertaining. You know what I mean? It's like, it kind of puts you in a box a bit. So
I don't think that put Kendrick in a box.
I don't know if I necessarily respect it. You know, we all make decisions. I'm sure he'll be good. He's talented as you know what I'm saying?
Since then, Drake and Kendrick have been sneak dissing and taking
you can't hate on somebody and throw a compliment out there, bro. What the heck? Drake, what's up with you, bro?
At one another in their songs. And then Kendrick took it up a notch on his 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where he name-dropped Drake on the track Father Time, referencing Kanye's decision to seemingly squash his beef with Drake. By the way, Kanye is now out here claiming he got manipulated into ending the beef, but we'll get into that a bit later. Going back to Kendrick and Drake, their long-simmering beef exploded back in March when Kendrick hopped on Future and Metro Boomin's track Like That from their new album, We Don't Trust You. Kendrick was responding to Cole's verse on Drake's track First Person Shooter, where Cole mentions the big three rappers, including himself, Drizzy, and Kendrick. However, Kendrick didn't appreciate Cole lumping him in with Drake, so he fired back on Like That with Future and Metro. He raps, F sneak dissing, First Person Shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches, F the big 3, it's just big me. Kendrick then compares himself to Prince, pointing out that Prince outlived Michael Jackson and references Drake's line in First Person Shooter where he brags about being one #1 song away from Michael. Kendrick raps, "And your best work is a light pack. Prince outlived Mike Jack." So when Like That blew up, it seemed like every rapper wanted a piece of the Drake dissing action. Now, Drake initially claimed he was unbothered, and at a gig in Florida in March, he told the crowd that there's no man alive who can mess with him.
But you see what a beard can do for you, bro. Hey, some of us, you know what I'm saying? Some of us gotta wait. We gotta wait.
At a gig in Florida in March, he told the crowd that there's no man alive who can mess with him.
I got my head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a nigga on this earth that can ever me in my life.
But fans were getting impatient with Drake's motivational speeches and Instagram posts. They wanted him to hit the booth instead and respond to Kendrick and other rappers who dissed him. And then more drama started brewing when Kanye West jumped on the Like That remix and name-checked Lucian Grange while throwing more shots at Drake. Kanye raps, "Where's Lucian? Serve your master. You caught a little bag for your masters, didn't ya? Lifetime deal, I feel bad for them. Y'all so out of sight, out of mind. I can't even think of a Drake line." But Kanye didn't stop there. During his interview on The Download, Kanye was asked what happened between him and Drake, especially after they seemed to squash their beef by teaming up for that Larry Hoover benefit concert in 2021. However, Kanye said if he had known Drake was going to stab him in the back, he wouldn't have even considered teaming up with him. And then Kanye brought up Lucian Grange again, calling him Drake's rich baby daddy.
He's like, you know, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy, Drake has a rich baby daddy.
Now we'll get back to Lucian in a second, but let's first wrap up this Kendrick versus Drake saga. So a few weeks after Kendrick took shots at Drake on Like That with Future and Metro Boomin, Drake fired back by dropping push-ups. Drake threw out some corny lines about Kendrick's height and his collaboration with Taylor Swift. And then he tried to hit Kendrick where it hurts, calling him out for reportedly having to give over 50% of his earnings to his old label, Top Dog Entertainment. Drake raps, "Pull your contract cause we gotta see the split. The way you do in splits, your pants might rip." Now let's talk about Drake's contract. In 2022, there was a buzz going around that Drake scored a massive deal with Universal Music Group, rumored to be close to $500 million. But that's not all. He supposedly also got to keep all his masters. Though nothing's been officially confirmed, Drake dropped some subtle clues in his track, Major Distribution, that his deal sets him apart from the pack. With lines like $500 million just for Aubrey, he's basically saying he's on a whole other level of freedom and perks compared to his peers. So with all these rappers taking shots at him, Drake is basically suggesting they're just chasing the money to pay off their labels, while he's sitting pretty with his sweet deal. But wait a second, why does Drake get to enjoy perks that his peers can only dream of? It can't be about talent, that's for sure. Now, of course, Drake is one of the most commercially successful artists ever, but let's think about it. Certified icons like Michael Jackson and Prince were massive, way bigger than Drake, yet they had to fight tooth and nail for ownership of their masters. So what's Drake's secret sauce? Well, buckle up, because now we're entering what some might call conspiracy territory, while others swear it's just straight up facts. Here's the deal. There's this theory floating around that Drake's special treatment in the rap game has something to do with his cultural background, the same background he shares with pretty much every big shot record label owner and executive, including Lucian Grange.
Somebody's like, you know how big you're gonna be, and he's like, this has never happened before. It's like every Jew is going to just like really embrace.
Well, here's the thing. There are Jews like my dad who like cling to like the biggest reaches. Yeah. Like, you know who's Jewish? Matt Damon. I'm like, no, he's not, Dad. He's definitely not Jewish. And like people reach, and the fact that you actually identify, that's gonna be like, that's gonna be big.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
You're doing something that I could never do.
And you know how Twitter's always buzzing with theories? Well, fans have been having a field day with this topic lately. Someone said Drake is an extension of the Jewish label executive. That's why he stays playing these industry games. Remember when he was threatening Kanye and sending him devil emojis? Another user wrote, "This is Jewish billionaire Lucian Grange, the man who Drake loves to name drop almost as if he's rubbing it in the faces of his fellow rappers. His Jewish privilege could be the reason behind the 'we don't trust you.'" And then someone else added, Drake is so close and has industry ties to folks who could simply keep you off radio nationwide if he wanted. The Lucian Grange relationship that Kanye was speaking on is far different than a he's stopping bags narrative. Jewish control of hip-hop music on a global scale is by far the most insidious crime against Black America since redlining or civil rights. It's had a long-lasting impact on our culture. Yes, it's made a handful of Black folks filthy rich, but it's kept us stagnant from a destructive perspective. Y'all aren't ready for that convo though. However, there's another darker side to Drake's ties to Lucian Grange. You see, both Lucian and Drake have been caught up in some serious allegations regarding a rumored trafficking ring within the entertainment industry. Now, let's rewind to that lawsuit recently filed against Diddy by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. This lawsuit's got a laundry list of defendants, and one name that jumps out is Lucian Grange. In his lawsuit, Lil Rod repeatedly brought up Lucian's name, and he even alluded to Lucian and Diddy being more than friends, if you know what I mean. The lawsuit states, Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Grange visiting Mr. Combs's home in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. According to Mr. Jones, whenever defendant Grange visited Mr. Combs at his homes, it would be in the evening, and he and Mr. Combs would disappear for hours in Mr. Combs's bedroom. The lawsuit then goes on to claim that Lucian Grange sponsored and attended several Love album listening parties where S-workers were present, along with young women below the age. Lil Rod also alleged,
see, that listening parties, bruh, that video where Kevin Hart was hosting, and it was Fabulous, and it was Trey Songz, that was a listening party. That was an album release listening party, bro. So I'm pretty sure the after party, they probably went crazy. They go crazy in the after party. It's crazy, bro. Doing these parties. Dang.
That during these parties, Lucian was well aware, or should have been, that Diddy was serving laced bottles of tequila and vodka. But wait, there's more. Lil Rod spilled that during his time living and traveling with Diddy, he discovered that Diddy had hidden cameras in every room of his home.
Weirdo.
And here's the kicker. Lil Rod claimed that Diddy has recordings not just of Lucian Grange, but also of other big names like celebrities, music label bigwigs, politicians, and athletes. Lil Rod also alleged that Lucian, together with other defendants, aided, abetted, and induced Sean Combs' S-trafficking venture, and he describes him as one of the co-conspirators who knowingly benefited from coercive S-trafficking. According to Lil Rod, Lucian and other defendants were providing vast sums of cash, which made Diddy's criminal venture possible. Now, when it comes to Drake, there have been whispers for years about him being inappropriate and possibly grooming young women, but Kendrick recently turned up the heat, suggesting that Drake isn't just a creep, but a major player in this supposed trafficking operation within the music industry. On his savage diss track, Not Like Us, Kendrick references Drake's 2021 album, Certified Lover Boy, saying that Drake and his OVO crew are a bunch of certified PDF files. By the way, on Meet the Grams, another Drake diss track Kendrick dropped this month, he suggested that it's only a matter of time until Drake gets the Diddy treatment and the feds raid his Toronto mansion. Kendrick raps, it's some weird ish going on and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of they home and calling them tender, then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. Katt Williams said, get you the truth, so I'ma get mines. The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. Kendrick then took things up a notch in Not Like Us. And let's talk about that cover art. It's a bird's eye view of Drake's Toronto mansion, aka the embassy, with a bunch of tags you'd find on an S-offender map. Now, Drake didn't take Kendrick's diss lying down. He fired back with The Heart Part 6, where he shoots down those PDF file allegations. But here's where it gets messy. Drake decided to name drop Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown, addressing those old rumors about them, even though Kendrick never brought Millie into the mix in any of his tracks.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Him texting her, bro. That's against policies, bro. Talking about you miss somebody.
In The Heart Part 6, Drake makes a point about Kendrick's wife Whitney, basically saying he's only into grown women. He raps, only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager. Earlier in the song, Drake brushes off those PDF allegations, basically saying he's way too famous to be caught up in anything like that. And he also argues that if there was any truth to those claims, he'd already be behind bars. I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this ish you just suggested. But hold up. What were Drake's ghostwriters hoping to achieve with this line? I mean, it makes no sense because it's taken ages for the feds to even start sniffing around allegations against people like R. R. Kelly, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, and Jeffrey Epstein. So for Drake to say he'd already be in prison if Kendrick's accusations were true, that logic doesn't fly. If anything, the more famous and rich these PDF files are, the longer it takes for them to face any consequences. Besides that, there's just something weird about The Heart Part 6. Almost the whole track is just Drake defending himself, and there's not much in there directly aimed at Kendrick, just a few digs that Drake's already thrown out in his earlier diss tracks. It's kinda like he's beating a dead horse. Nothing fresh enough to really provoke a response. But here's the latest scoop. Now that Drake and Diddy's close relationship with Lucian Grange is under scrutiny, there's talk going around that Lucian threw Diddy under the bus once he caught wind of those alleged secret recordings. And rumor has it that Lucian planned to swap out Diddy for Drake in this alleged trafficking scheme that's supposedly been going down in the industry. So when Kendrick started digging into that trafficking angle, rumor has it Drake got a call from his alleged sugar daddy, Lucian, advising him to end the feud and drop a lukewarm track like The Heart Part 6. But here's the real twist. People are saying Lucian and the other bigwigs behind the scenes initially stirred up the beef to profit from it and pushed Drake even further up the ladder. But as soon as Kendrick started hitting on those trafficking allegations, especially with Lucian's name being dragged into the Diddy lawsuit, they pumped the brakes hard. One fan said, "Executives who are scared of being exposed for the crimes they've committed would do anything to destroy you in order to maintain their lifestyles, and that's a dangerous battle. Kendrick gets all the props from me." And another person wrote, Lucian Grange's name was in that Diddy suit too. He wasn't about to let that paydo trafficking ish keep unraveling. Their boss called game 3-2 Kendrick. Adding to the mix, fans are now bringing up something Katt Williams mentioned regarding rap beefs and the untimely deaths of rappers. Fans are now cautioning Kendrick to tread carefully because too many artists have met tragic ends after stirring up this hornet's nest and trying to expose the big labels. Katt recently revisited the darker side of the music business in an interview, highlighting the deaths of young rappers and suggesting they're not random occurrences. According to Katt, whenever a rapper gets killed over some petty drama, there's always someone higher up profiting off these tragedies.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up.
Katt also mentioned that there's a pattern to these tragic events. When a rapper is sacrificed, the powers that be often arrange for someone from the rapper's own city to be the one to take them out, as a final blow and humiliation tactic.
So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses.
As Katt put it in the end.
Dang, bruh. Dang, bruh. Dang, bruh. That's a lot, bro. It's your boy Kelvin, man. Make sure y'all comment on how y'all feel about the situation. Dang, Drake. I don't know, man. Drake gotta get canceled, bro. All that stuff is true, bro. Drake, you gotta get canceled, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Kevin, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out some of my channels, man. I got Body Cam Kevo, Dash Cam Kevo, and this is Everything Kevo. Well, we watch everything over here. Over there, we watch Body Cams and Dash Cams. So, as always, man, I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.